What's up, guys? This is Vaughn from Simply Hawkward Games, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about some upcoming news, stuff like that, and maybe a rant at the end. First of all, we've got my excitement for Spiderman Homecoming. I'm really excited to see that movie. They've released, I guess they haven't released anything. The man who plays Spider-Man, or the kid, whatever, boy, age groups, you know what's happening. He released some set photos and stuff like that on Instagram, and I am extremely excited, especially when I went on IMDb and saw that Donald Glover was going to be in it, Hannibal Buress. I think it's going to be great. I'm excited to see some funny stuff going on. I am glad to see Robert Downey Jr. is in it as Tony Stark. I mean, I'm not really sure how he's going to tie in or if he's actually going to be in it. I like that they're now doing somewhat of crossovers, so nobody is really in their movie by themselves, especially with the Captain America movies. Everyone is always in his movies with him, which I really, really enjoy, instead of just Iron Man movies where it's just oh, here's fucking Robert Downey Jr. It's no, dude. I want to see everyone together, just like a comic. In comics, even in Iron Man, they're never just by themselves. So, really what I wanted to talk about with Spider-Man Homecoming, not only is its release kind of supposedly in July 7th of 2017 is what I heard, which I'm actually pretty excited about. I hope it's in July. I would much rather be in January, but shit happens. What I really wanted to talk about was Flash Gordon, the actor who plays him, which is Tony Revolori, I think, maybe. I totally butchered that, and I'm just gonna go with it. Not exactly what I envisioned for Flash Gordon. Not really because of his ethnicity or anything like that, just because if this is a guy who's going to become Venom, I would just, I don't know if he's going to become Venom, and I don't know if the black symbiote is going to come into it or anything like that, but it's just super weird to see the actors that they choose to portray these characters, just because he seems like a smaller person. And if you know anything about Flash Thompson, he is a much larger person. He's a football player. He's generally a jock. I just wouldn't really get that vibe from him. I mean, it just all depends how you're looking at him and when he's being portrayed and stuff, but he's usually always a larger guy, and Venom is a larger guy, and he becomes he joins the military and everything, which I imagine Tony will do a great job as Flash Thompson. I'm just kind of wondering where they're going to go with that. That's really all I had to say about Spider-Man Homecoming. After that, I've got the technically maybe leak of the Ezio trilogy that's coming out. It was, I think, Ubisoft Italy that possibly did accidentally post it on Amazon. There was going to be 2 Brotherhood and Revelations at a $60 price, including all the DLCs, and 2 films, which would be coming out in November 17th. I'd be pretty excited to play through those because I actually really enjoy the Ezio games. I haven't played Revelations, but I really want to, even though everyone says it's terrible. I'm excited to just kind of get back into it, really do the Assassin's Creed stuff, even though Ubisoft is no Assassin's Creed, and then they're this one's not it. That one's a different one. That's a collection. It's that's kind of the same thing. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm actually really excited to maybe play through these Ezio games again, especially because 2 in Brotherhood. Brotherhood is actually one of my favorites, and I really, really enjoyed it. After that, we've got, the new Deus Ex Mankind Divided DLC coming up. It's called System Rift. Its release is September 23rd. I keep hearing stuff that's oh, maybe Adam Jensen will find out who's the Illuminati, and it's isn't that the whole point of a secret society, for you to not know who's in it? I mean, they really do a lot to make sure you don't find out who's in it. So why do you keep teasing people are going to find out, who they are? It's just ridiculous. I'm excited for A Criminal Past. So there's 2 DLCs that are going to come out. There's System Rift, which comes out in September, and then A Criminal Past has no DLC, has no set date. But I'm still excited. I mean, I love Deus Ex. I got a free code today, so I'm really excited to play through it. And that's pretty much it for that. After that, we've got Walking Dead actually has a title now, which is kind of weird because the others are just Walking Dead Season 1, Season 2, and all that good stuff. And now it actually has a subtitle. It's Walking Dead, I think it's actually Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 3, or no, it's not even Season 3, it's just Telltale's The Walking Dead A New Frontier, which is really interesting because, I mean, it seems like they're just trying to branch off from the story of like Clementine being a child and now her being older, and now it's her new frontier. She's learning how to become her own person inside of this fucked up world. Super excited about it. I absolutely love the Walking Dead games, and not only to get a season 3, but something that seemingly is all about the just metamorphosis from Clementine becoming, like, from being a child to becoming an adult in this massive zombie apocalypse. This is like fucking barren wasteland of United States. I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to play it. They have no like set release dates or anything like that, but I'm really excited for it. After that, we've got Duke Nukem Anniversary. I think it's the 20th or 30th anniversary. That one may be coming out on October 11th. It's being redone by Gearbox. Not exactly excited for that, because, I mean, Gearbox does well, but with the whole Battleborn stuff, I'm not really that excited. Borderlands was awesome, but really, Battleborn, like... But I'm actually really interested. I mean, so many people seem very excited about Duke Nukem, and I didn't realize he was that big of a character. I played a little bit when I was a kid, and I thought it was really cool to shoot, like, I'm shooting, like, big-ass pigs and shit. It's, like, super cool. But with today, like, with everybody needing to be PC lately, you would think that Duke Nukem would not be the game that would be remastered. Like, specifically the opposite of being remastered. Do you think they would remaster something that would have absolutely nothing to do with any sort of, like, political correctness? But Duke Nukem, whatever, dude. He's vulgar as shit, and he likes to shoot pigs and fuck bitches. It's like, that's awesome. I love Duke Nukem. Who doesn't love Duke Nukem? I'm super excited for it. That's about it for my news section of this video. Now I'm going to get into my kind of like rant portion, because I saw a weird thread on NeoGAF that actually really pissed me off, because I was just like, I don't think you guys understand how things go anymore, but okay. So basically the thread was, it was like, is it just them, or are video game stories bad? And it was like, oh yeah, like compared to books and movies and TV, even TV, really, dude, TV? Compared to all of these things, video game stories are bad. Like, if you would have adapted GTA 5 or The Last of Us or a bunch of different games into movies, like they wouldn't be award-winning movies or anything like that. And I don't think they really understand what's going on with these. I don't think they really, like, I feel like we've been spoiled with so many good stories that people are just nitpicking things nowadays. Like, they're like, oh yeah, that's not a good story because he fucking cries at this point, and at this point he, like, you know, he weeps, or he, like, fucking touches his ass, something like that. I don't know. But it's just so ridiculous. Everybody's so nitpicky with great stories these days. Everybody's like, there was actually somebody on there was like, hold up. The only good stories are in books. That's it. And I was like, what? That's like the dumbest thing I've heard all day. And I work in retail. I hear a lot of dumb things. And for you to say that books are the only good medium for storytelling is absolutely ridiculous. Because, I mean, movies, let alone, have amazing stories. Games have such great stories. Like, it's like they've never really played through The Last of Us. They're like, oh yeah, that can't be adapted into a movie. It basically is a movie. I mean, sure, it couldn't have been adapted into a movie like it couldn't have been adapted into a B-list movie. It would definitely be an award-winning movie because of how great that was. I mean, have you ever seen, like, apocalypse thrillers like Children of Men or The Road? I mean, those are fantastic, and The Last of Us, on the silver screen, would be far better. I just don't really understand where you guys are getting at with this. A lot of people think video game stories fall to the wayside because they have to think about graphics, gameplay, and all that stuff. And I still don't understand where they're coming from with this, because there are a few games like The Walking Dead, the Life is Strange, like cinematic games that have really good stories but very little gameplay, which totally makes sense. But then there are games like The Last of Us with great gameplay. The Witcher has great gameplay and amazing story. Like, I'm honestly surprised on this thread I didn't see The Witcher, like, named at all. And I feel like creating a world with millions of separate characters and just millions of separate personalities and different types of lore and everything, for people to say that these are possibly bad stories and they wouldn't be award-winning is just absolutely ridiculous. That's like sacrilege. I mean, I feel like you just don't understand what makes a good story anymore. Like, you've watched so many B-list movies that you think those are great stories, like, just getting right to the point, that you have to basically down on anything that kind of takes a turn. Like, maybe, like, basically with The Last of Us, it has several story arcs, but in the end, it's a large, encompassing story that makes you really feel connected to these characters. And just imagine, they made you feel connected to these characters in one single slot. They made you feel connected to these characters so much that you loved them and wanted to brand yourself with them in one single slot. Whereas the Harry Potter books and movies are they are a quadrilogy. There's so many of them, and it took so many for people to really love them. I mean, sure, when the first Harry Potter book came about, I imagine people were somewhat excited. But then when it actually became an entire series, that's when people were excited about it. And then they made them into movies, and then people think those movies are great and all sorts of stuff. And it's totally mind-boggling to me that you could say The Last of Us could not be held up to something like Harry Potter. Like, really? Harry Potter has no fucking business being with The Last of Us, even though it is a great book. Don't get me wrong. Harry Potter, great book, great movies. Like, nothing wrong with them. I'm just saying The Last of Us as a game is far, far better with storytelling. And a lot of games have far better storytelling, including the Uncharted series. You've got The Witcher. You've got The Last of Us. You've got pretty much any of the Telltale games, including The Wolf Among Us, which I shouldn't say that one just because it is based off comics, and I guess so is The Walking Dead. So really, for people to say those aren't good stories because they are games is just ridiculous, because they're just continuations of something that is essentially a book. It is a comic book, and the Walking Dead story, actually the comic book story, is fantastic, and so is the Wolf Among Us / Fables story. So I really feel like you guys need to read up on what you guys are talking about, because I don't think you understand. I'm sorry if this video was like slightly negative at the end and maybe insulting, but I just can't really let people talk shit about video game stories and not give my 2 cents. And I didn't want to do it on NeoGAF just because, like, that's kind of a ridiculous thing. So I wanted to, broadcast it to everybody just because I'm ridiculous like that. That's about it for me today. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure you like it down below. Just click that like button wherever it is, wherever. Make sure you click that subscribe button for all of my upcoming content. I don't post on the weekends. I do post Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I post all 5 days of the week except for the 2, Yeah, the actual weekdays. I post on those days. I do books. I do books, movies, games, like literally anything, toys. So make sure you guys stay tuned, and make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at Simply Hawkward. You guys can talk about literally anything. I did tweet about how annoying that NeoGAF thread was, so that was pretty interesting. And also make sure you guys leave a comment down below letting me know how you guys feel about gaming stories. If you guys are excited about any of the news coming up, like Spiderman Homecoming or the Ezio collection that's possibly coming out. How you feel about Duke Nukem being remastered, which is still mind-boggling to me. Don't really understand that one. Or just anything in general. Make sure you guys do that. And if you guys want some cool gameplay videos, check out my friend Cappy's channel. He does a lot of gameplay stuff, so I think it would be pretty awesome. And like I said, that's it for me today. I hope you guys have a fantastic day.